What's up? My name is Matt, and in this video, we're going to cover how to get B2B leads using cold email in 2023. I'm so excited to share this video because I laid out the full process front to back of how to get B2B leads with cold email. It's the exact process I use, and if you stick around to the end, I have a special surprise. You're not going to want to miss this because if you clicked on this video, I know you want it. And don't skip to the end, because why would you click on this video just to skip to the end to see a surprise you didn't even know existed? So let's dive straight in. And please forgive me, I'm a little bit congested, but I want to get this video to you right in the new year. So what we're going to cover: what is cold email, why you should use cold email, and how you can use cold email to actually get B2B leads. So the first point, what is cold email? So cold emails are just emails you're sending out to prospects that don't know you, generally to get them interested in your product or service. It's just like cold calling, but over email. You're reaching out to someone who doesn't know you to try and get them interested in what you're selling. So why cold email? So the first point I like to always bring up why you should use cold email is that everybody has an email account. You watching this video, you have an email account. You probably signed up on YouTube to watch this video using your email. You send it back and forth with your grandma or whoever else every day with your business partners. Email is just the way we communicate. Everybody has it. It's universal. And this ties in with the second point, is that since everybody has an email account, there is tons of scale. There's tons and tons and tons of scale because you can set up as many emails as you want to send out emails at as high volume as you want. And since everybody has one, it's not like you're reaching out to people on LinkedIn where some people have LinkedIn accounts, other people don't. Everybody has an email address. Another point, you can automate most of the process. So unlike cold calling, you need people to do that. You can get these emails sent out mostly on autopilot using some sending tools that we're going to cover later in this video. And it's way cheaper than running ads. Setting up an email account costs about $7 per month, give or take, and you can send 30 to 40 emails a day on that. Compare that to ads where B2B impressions are super high. They're not even super effective too, because if someone knows they're being advertised to, it's better than when you're reaching out to someone on a personal behalf. And then the last piece is it works. Okay, I use cold email personally for me and in my agency for my clients. I use it to get clients, and it works surprisingly well because if you're reaching out to someone and it looks legitimate, it looks like you're talking to a human, it doesn't look automated even though you are automating the process. It captures a lot of people's attention and gets them wanting to get on the phone. And so this is just a couple of screenshots. There's way more. You can book tons of appointments doing this. So how to cold email. So I'm going to go through the 5-step process, starting with crafting your offer and your audience and going all the way down to launching your campaign. So let's dive straight into this. So the first step in launching your cold email campaign and getting B2B leads is crafting your offer and your audience. So before you send out a single email, you're going to first need to figure out what you're selling and who you're selling to before you send out these emails. The reason why this is important is because if you don't know who you're sending emails to or why you're sending them emails, why would they want to get on the phone with you to buy your B2B product or service? So the general format is we help X do Y and Z. So for example, if you're a TikTok ads agency and you help jewelry stores, an example of what you say you can do in these emails or your offer is we help jewelry stores generate 30% more revenue in the next 90 days using TikTok ads. So if you have a compelling offer like this is going to make your whole email process a million times easier. If you have a bad product, it's going to be hard to sell. And if you have a good product, it's going to be easy to sell. This is kind of common sense, but it's something most people don't think about, which is before you even send out an email, try and figure out the best product or service offering you have and try and figure out how to say it to a cold prospect in a way that would want them to get on the phone by talking in terms of benefits and highlighting exactly what you can do for someone. So me personally, if I owned a jewelry store and someone said they can get me 30% more revenue in the next 90 days, I would get on the phone with them. If I got this in an email, that would intrigue me. It's personalized, and we're going to dive a little more into actually how to write this copy later in this video. But just as a point, the better your offer, the easier this is all going to be. So make sure you have a good offer. Make sure you know who you're targeting and what you're actually selling. So on to the second step, which is actually buying inboxes and creating accounts to send emails from. So the next step is you're going to need to buy additional inboxes to send your cold emails from. You can either buy from Google, Outlook, or Zoho. Those are the main 3 providers that most cold emailers use. But you might be wondering, why can't I send cold emails from my regular business email address that I send all my other emails from? So the main reason, there's two reasons. Number one is your domain can get blacklisted. So whenever you're sending cold emails, there's a chance that your domain can get blacklisted. This happens when you either send too many emails or too many emails get marked as spam, you use too many spammy words. There's tons of reasons. But if you get put on one of these blacklists or you get put on enough of these blacklists, all your emails go to spam. So if you're sending emails to clients or just using it day to day, all your emails will just go to spam permanently after your domain gets put on a blacklist. So you don't want that to happen. If you follow the rules, you shouldn't get put on the blacklist with the extra inboxes you create, but you should just do this as an extra point of caution to make sure that you don't get any of your emails permanently going to spam from your main domain. And the second point is that you can send more emails. So even if you don't get blacklisted from sending emails from your main domain, you can send way more emails if you just buy new inboxes and buy new domains. So each inbox can safely send around 35 to 40 emails per day. So you're limited to that if you only have one inbox. The more inboxes you buy, the more emails you can send and the more sales calls you can get. So you should just buy more emails so you can send higher volumes, so more eyeballs you can get on your offer, and so you can get on more sales calls, get more leads, which is exactly what you want. So I recommend using Google. So the first thing you're going to want to do is go and buy the domains you want and add prefixes such as hello, grow, etc. So if you don't know what I mean here, so let's say your current email address is yourname@marketing.com. Let's say that's your company. You would buy a domain that would be hellomarketing.com, growmarketing.com, tomarketing.com, trymarketing.com. There's a million prefixes, try, get, go. You can think of pretty much any word, just slap it in front of your domain, and then just make another inbox with the exact same name. And so you can make, 5, 10, 20 of these, depending on how much you want to scale. You can get an extra 2, you can get an extra 10. It really just depends how many emails you want to send and how many sales calls you ultimately want to get. So first, you buy your email accounts, and then you're going to want to connect them to a sending platform. So there are email sending tools. They, number one, allow you to warm up your inboxes, and number two, allow you to send the emails on autopilot. So the warm up feature, which almost all email sending platforms have, means that all the emails on the email sending platform will send dummy emails back and forth between each other, which automatically reply to each other, and it makes the activity on the inbox go up and make it much less likely your emails go to spam. So once you connect your inbox to one of these email sending platforms, they're going to start sending dummy emails back and forth between all the people who use the platform, and that's awesome because that shows all the email providers that there's actual activity on the inbox. You're not sending spam, you're getting actual replies to your emails, and so it makes your deliverability go way up, makes it way less likely that the emails you're sending out to your prospects actually go to spam. So I recommend setting up your emails on a warm-up to as soon as possible, since it takes about 2 weeks from when you start warming up your inbox to when you can actually send out emails on a high volume. So there's a handful of tools that do this. There's Maility.io, there's Instantly.ai, there's Mailshake and QuickMail. I'll probably make some videos on these tools later, but the tools that I would probably recommend are either one of these first tools, Maility or Instantly. Mailshake and QuickMail are a bit more expensive, which is why I bring that up. The pricing on Maility and Instantly is super affordable. The tools are super good, so I would recommend one of those two tools. Okay, so on to the next step, which is building your list. So now that your emails are warming up and they're connected to a sending tool, you're going to actually want to build a list of people that you want to email. So there's tons of platforms that you can use to get email data from. There's Apollo, there's Sales Navigator, which is a LinkedIn tool, but you're going to need to use a third-party scraper to get the emails from them. There's Zoom Info, and then there's a handful more. You guys probably know some, maybe not. If you don't, I would just recommend Apollo. Apollo is kind of like the golden standard. Their emails are accurate mostly. They give you business emails, and it's really affordable. That's the main point. Compared to Zoom Info, Apollo is just a million times cheaper. So here's what an example list might look like from one of these email services. You get their first name, their last name, their title, company, email. You can get way more information. The main stuff you're going to want is first name, so you can put that in the email sending platform. So you can say, hey, Nathan, hey, Sean. Stuff like that is awesome. You're obviously going to get the emails, their websites, and a ton of other data. And then the next step, after you get one of these lists from one of these data providers, is you're going to want to double verify it. So once you get the data, you're going to need to plug it into another tool to actually verify that the emails exist and are up to date. This is important because some of these emails on these data providers, they get deleted. Someone makes a company, then the company gets dissolved, or they change their domain, or someone leaves the company. And if your emails bounce at a high rate, whenever you're sending emails out, you're sending emails that don't exist, then your domain can get blacklisted, and you're wasting emails that could have gone to valid people. You're increasing the likelihood you go to spam. So you don't want that to happen. So once you get this list from Apollo, Sales Navigator, Zoom Info, whoever else you're getting it from, you get a list like this in Excel, and then you're going to want to upload it to one of these other tools like Zero Bounce, Never Bounce, Million Verifier. All they do is they run an additional verification process that checks to see if the emails are active, and it will spit you back another spreadsheet that says, these are the ones that are guaranteed to exist, these are the ones that don't exist, and these are the ones that could potentially exist. I would just recommend going with the emails that are guaranteed to exist. So now we are on almost the last piece before we launch our campaign, which is writing your copy. So now you're going to want to actually write out the email that you're going to be sending out to all these people that you just scraped. So a couple of principles to keep in mind is, number one, keep your email as short as possible. Please, 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 please. This is the biggest mistake I see beginners make, and I used to make a while ago, which is having long emails get sent out. Okay, whenever you're sending out an email to someone that doesn't know you, why would they commit to reading this big essay you wrote up? Most people, once again, it's 2023, there's apps like TikTok, everyone's attention span is fried. So most people, when they just see a large body of text, they're just not going to read it, especially if they don't know who you are. So keep your emails as short as possible. Get to the point. You're interrupting these people's day, so try and just get straight to the essence of what you can provide and why they should be interested in your email. The second principle is to try to personalize your email as much as possible. So something as simple as calling out the type of business they have or where they're located will make it much more likely for them to trust you and want to respond to you. So imagine I sent you an email and I said, hey, I can help your business make more money, versus, hey, I can help your jewelry store make 30% more revenue with TikTok ads. That's way more personalized. If you're a jewelry store, compared to just saying, hey, I help your business, it makes it feel like you actually hand wrote their email and that they feel like they can actually have success using whatever you're saying because you're speaking directly to them. There's a saying, if you try and speak to everybody, you speak to nobody, and that's no more true in emails. So there's tools like quicklines.ai. They write out AI personalized lines for you with LinkedIn data. I don't necessarily recommend using these tools all the time. It'll spit out a line. Let's say you upload the data and it'll spit out something like, hey, John, I noticed you went to this college. Really cool. Stuff like that, it can help, but it's also expensive. It costs like 10 cents per line that you write. I wouldn't recommend it straight away, but if you have extra money and you want to test it out, then tools like that can help. So here's an example for, let's say you're running an email campaign and you live in Denver and you want to target local dental offices. So, hey, first name, saw you were also in Denver, so I wanted to reach out. So imagine if you were in Denver and you had a dental practice and you got this email, you're like, wow, okay, this person's local, so this is an automated email, it doesn't seem spammy, and then you get straight into the point. We help Denver-based dental practices get 8 new teeth whitening appointments per month guaranteed, or it's free. Do you want to hear more? So this gets straight to the point. It's super easy to read. You tell them exactly what you can provide. The offer is good. If you say, hey, I can get you 8 new teeth whitenings per month guaranteed, or you don't have to pay me, it's basically like free money, right? You want to make your offer sound like free money as much as possible. But, obviously don't lie about what you do, but try and take what you do and make it a super compelling reason why they would want to get on the phone with you, why they would want to respond. I like Alex Hormozy's quote in his $100 million offers book, which is, make an offer so good that they feel stupid saying no. This person would feel stupid saying, hey, 8 new teeth whitening appointments for free if you don't get them, or it's basically just free money. Anyways, and then the call to action. This, I would say, is a really good email if you can actually provide this offer to local dental firms. It's personalized. It hits all the main points. So this is good email copy. That is the copy section done. So the last part of this process is actually launching your campaign and handling your responses. So after you launch your campaign, you should be getting a ton of replies. The most 2 common replies you're going to be getting are no and yes. obviously. So you send out an email like this saying, hey, do you want to hear more about my service? You're going to get no's and you're going to get yeses. For the people who reply no or unsubscribe or some variation of that, just leave it at that. If they're already apprehensive this early in the sales process before you even get on the phone with them to explain a little bit more about what you do, they're probably not going to buy, and it just takes so much time trying to reply to these people. If they say no, they say unsubscribe, just leave it at that. Don't bother them anymore. It's not worth your time. But for the people who reply yes, the best strategy, I would say, is to give them 2 options to book a time to speak. So everybody has a calendar app, or if you don't have a calendar app, I would recommend getting an app like Calendly. But instead of sending them a link and just saying, hey, book a time here, give them 2 options to book a time, because it makes the process way more frictionless. They don't have to click any links, don't have to go back and forth, or they don't just forget about it. You send them an email, you say, hey, awesome, John, thanks for responding. Do you want to talk at Wednesday at 3 p.m. or Tuesday at 4 p.m.? And so all they have to do is just pick a time, you book it out on your end, and then boom, you just booked an appointment using cold email on autopilot. And if you're sending out a lot of these emails, you can get a lot of positive replies in a short amount of time. So that is basically the process front to back. Now let's dive into the bonus surprise that I talked about in the beginning of this video. So I built a step-by-step cold email course, basically walking you through the whole process I just covered in this video, but I hold your hand. It's this, but exactly way more in-depth. It's an hour and 14 minutes, basically hand-holding you through the whole process. Super awesome stuff. It's yours for free. The link is in the description. All you have to do is you opt in, you put your name and whatnot, and it's a whole piece of content. It's basically everything I know on cold email, how to set up the inboxes, how to write the copy in a more in-depth way, how to handle responses in a more in-depth way. It's just basically this, but way more in-depth. So if you want that, check it out in the description. It's free. Don't have to pay anything. And then the last thing, shameless plug at the end, if you want more leads on a pay per meeting basis, meaning you only pay on the meetings that actually book, you can book a time with me to see if we'd be a good fit to work together. My website is anivomarketing.com. There should be a calendar link to talk to me. There will be a link in the description. So just shameless little plug. If this is too complicated and you just want me to handle it, you can check out the link in the description. Otherwise, subscribe for more videos, check the description for the socials, and check the description for that free cold email masterclass. I really appreciate you. Good luck sending those cold emails, and comment any videos you'd like to see next. So I appreciate you. Take care. Good luck sending those emails.